Welcome to the Job Safety Analysis Training Module.
A job safety analysis, or JSA, is a fancy name for a tool that identifies the steps, hazards, and risks associated with a particular task, and determines appropriate steps and measures to complete the task safely. A JSA is essentially a risk assessment based on the idea of stop, think, act, guiding you to complete a task safely. A JSA is completed in 3 steps or phases. The first is to stop and identify the basic steps required to perform a task safely, before actually commencing the task. Each step should follow a logical sequence until completion of the task. The second step is to think of any hazards and risks associated with each step of the task. Finally, the third step is to act by introducing control measures to overcome the identified hazards and risks. Once all control measures are in place, you are ready to safely perform each step of the task. Now, when working on a boat, experienced individuals apply the stop, think, act approach all the time, usually unconsciously and without effort. For example, when deploying fishing gear, they know the tasks required to handle the gear safely and the potential sources of injury or entanglement. They know how to handle the gear safely and where to stand to avoid becoming injured or entangled and dragged overboard. They also know how heavy seas heightens the risk of injury or entanglement, and that a keen eye on the whereabouts of other crew members is also important. With experience, stop, think, act is performed quickly and with little delay. For the less experienced individual, let's look at a simple example: the deployment of a lobster trap. The first thing to do is to stop and identify each step of the task. Step 1 is to position the trap on deck ready for deployment. Step 2 is to prepare the rope and surface float for deployment. Step 3 is to prepare and insert the bait into the trap. Step 4 is to deploy the trap overboard. Next, think about all hazards and risks associated with each task. Some hazards associated with trap deployment include back injury lifting heavy traps, falling over the trap, and entanglement in rope and possible dragging overboard. Finally, act by introducing safety controls to mitigate the hazard or risk. This includes use of correct trap lifting techniques, correct rope preparation, and standing in a position clear of ropes during trap deployment. That is all there is to it. A JSA has been applied using stop, think, act, and the trap is deployed safely. In a practical sense, there is often little time on a boat to stop work and systematically work through the stop, think, act approach. Time is money. However, with experience you will develop an ability to quickly apply stop, think, act, and minimize the risks to your health and safety and that of your crewmates. Other tools that should be used to enhance the quality of the JSA include the hierarchy of controls and a risk matrix. These are discussed in the next 2 modules.
Great! That was quite a bit to take in. Let's review the material we covered.